We are live, and I get the notice. I love that ding. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. It's RobFuz. It's Pub Talk number 7. How's everyone doing? Rule is 2 or more people. What is it? 3 people total could make a pub talk. So, of course, we got Adam from AdamsLand, my man. What's going on, buddy? And we got Disney Dan in the house. What's going on, buddy? How's it going, everyone? Very good. Hope everyone's good. We already have 10 people here. Good crowd already. So welcome, everyone.
Welcome to the pub, everyone.
Yeah, I wanted to do a pub talk, and of course, I always forget when the nominations are coming out. I'm the worst. I love the nominations. I watch it live every year. I love it. I'm a big Academy Awards, big Oscar fans. I watch it every year. I just forget. I know it's right around my birthday. It's usually like 10 days before my birthday. I always forget. So, and I say, hey, this is a great topic. So we're going Academy Awards today. So I know Adam's a big Academy Awards fan.
I'm a huge Academy Awards fan. The Oscars is one of my key dates on my personal sort of calendar every year. Like, you know, I love the Oscars. I always book the Monday off work because obviously it's very late over here when it's aired. And I can't wait for it. I start getting excited about it from sort of around Christmas time and starting to, you know, pick up on the buzz of what films are going to be likely to be nominated or going to be in the running at least. You know, each year, and I start to watch as many as I can in the lead up to the Oscars, so I have an opinion on Oscars night itself as well. And starting today, obviously now the excitement's really sort of
games have begun. And I know Dan is a huge movie fan. I don't know, are you a big Oscar fan, Dan?
Well, being a big movie fan, I love to see, you know, like Adam said, like just to see what comes up and see like what big movies are coming out. But for me, I kind of like waiting for the drama to happen. I can't believe it was last year. Was it last year with the whole Moonlight La La Land thing?
Year before.
I just love things like that where they're completely pear-shaped. Because I love movies, but when you see something like that, it just makes the night even better. So yeah, I do like the Academy Awards. So
all right, cool. Yeah, that's crazy. So of course, Adam as a channel, AdamsLand, and his daughter Ebony. Ebony's little channel. Definitely check out his channel. Links below. And of course, Disney Dan's channel. Dan just hit 900 subscribers.
Yes.
Awesome, Dan. Congratulations.
Well done, Dan. Well done.
Of course, RobFuz and Drop That Rope. And all my partner channels. I see Our Themes Lives here. Adam's a partner channel, and Dan's my power channel.
Yep.
And definitely check out everyone below. I have everyone's links below. So I just want to get that in. If you're watching the replay, I know we're a little bit early today, so thank you so much for watching the replay. And let's get into it. Let's, I just a little bit abruptly. I'm a little wacky today. I don't know. So what are we drinking? I'm trying to shake it out of it. We're back in the pub here. Adam, what are we drinking? So
back in the pub. I'm technically off the drink at the moment because I'm trying to lose a bit of weight, but I have succumbed tonight. I've only got a Budweiser because I'm not going to go hard. Not today. And I was like, do I get the the Oscars champagne out? No, of course not. I'm going to wait until Oscars night when I have the Oscars party, which is normally a very drunken fun affair on Oscars night. But yeah, so I got a Budweiser for tonight.
Dan, what are we drinking there?
Well, I'm drinking my Virgil's root beer, which I absolutely love. But I've doubled up and I've got a Calippo as well, a nice orange Calippo. So, because obviously with me, you got to have a snack. So. You don't really get these in the pub. It's not really a pub food, but
okay.
Hey, you know, it's food. So yeah.
And of course,
I should have got some peanuts
because I'm on my diet. So sorry, Adam. What were you saying?
I was just saying I should have got some peanuts or something. So,
see, that's more traditional pub food rather than a Calippo.
Or popcorn for
popcorn you get in the pub.
Yeah. So
cheers, guys. Thanks for doing the pub talk, and I love the Oscars and the nominations.
So cheers to anyone who's having a drink while watching as well. So.
Cheers, guys. That's cool. So who's here, Adam? Let's do a little.
Who have we got? We've got like you say, we've got Mike from Our Theme Life in the chat. We've got Nick from Magical News Live. Hey Nick, welcome. A Disney Life for me. They are in the chat. Let's see who else. Lisa Post, Steve's World. Lisa made a comment about I've got a photo with an Oscar. That's right. That's from my time in LA in September. Ruth Metcalf, she's in the chat as well, and Cherie Awesome Sunset Travel. Who else? I think that's everyone at the moment. So welcome, guys. Thanks for stopping in.
Adam, the lighting's looking really good over there. The picture's looking good. I'm watching the playback. Look at Dan. You're looking good there. Nice lighting there. We're professional. Oh, hold on. He's is that it's like an orange crush kind of ice thing, a lemon kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like an orange like crushy and like a ice lolly, and it's nice. Well, it doesn't make any sense because it's freezing here, but I'm having something cold anyway.
It is 29 degrees. It actually warmed up today. It was like 9 yesterday. So
it's been snowing here today.
It's snowing here, and I'm having something cold.
So, yeah.
Crazy, guys.
So when it snows, have a nice lolly. Why not?
Love it. So, well, let's get into it, guys. Come on, let's talk about it. So this is cool. So, what do you guys think? So let's go through writing. You know, Adam was saying he loves writing and everything.
Yeah, I love, like, one of my favorite things. Well, what makes me love film so much and what makes me want to be a part of film is telling a good story. And that, you know, so it's funny because I was saying, I'm not sure if how many people who are watching I've told. Obviously, I know I've told Dan and Rob and Brandon and Mike from Our Themed Life and one or two others that whenever it comes to Oscars, I like to watch as many of the top nominated films as I can. And that could be anywhere between 20 and 30 films roughly each year that are nominated for the Oscars once they actually tell us which ones are nominated. I made my list today and there's 31 films that I have to try and get watched in the next 33 days. So I'm going to be very busy doing that. But yeah, like the first category I'm always interested in, obviously you've got your best picture and
to be fair, I used to do the same thing, Adam. By the way, I used to do the same thing. Once I got the 2 kids, it's been very tough. So I watched the major ones, but that's awesome.
Major ones, yeah. But that's it. Writing, I'm writing both categories, original screenplay and best adapted. I always like to see what is nominated in those because you've got 10 potentially very, very, very good, well told stories there. So obviously we're looking at the moment at writing original screenplay, and we've got The Favourite nominated, which I went to see last week. It was quite amusing, good fun. Period piece. It's not the funniest film I've watched, but the humor in it was there, and it did make me chuckle. It made me laugh out loud quite a few times, to be fair. So
I liked your review though, without any spoilers too. You said you liked it, but you wouldn't go see it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to see it again, but it that's not to say I disliked it. No, I did enjoy it, so I was glad I went to see it. First Reformed is one I've not seen yet. In fact, the rest of them, only The Favourite in the original screenplay is I've seen 6 of my 31 films so far. So First Reformed, Green Book, Roma, which I've heard big things about, and that's on Netflix, and Vice. So yeah, they're the ones that make up the rest of the original screenplay. I'm very much looking forward to Green Book and looking forward to Vice as well. So yeah,
cool. Me too.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any of them so far? Or
Well, for me, looking at the original screenplay with Roma, it was written by Alfonso Cuarón, who he wrote the 3rd Harry Potter film, The Prisoner of Azkaban, which, in my opinion, is probably the best directed Harry Potter film, and he did a really great job directing that. So he has this kind of little bit of a flair that he does. It's a bit off peak. It's a little bit off the wall, I think. And I think Roma's the only one out of the original screenplay which I've seen, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, excellent! Yeah,
really enjoyed Roma. And I think, like, you guys know me, I love my writing, and especially bad writing, aka Jaws: The Revenge. But I also love how writing can be really, really good as well. There is a film in the adapted screenplay, which maybe we'll talk about in a sec, but Roma out of the original screenplay I've seen, and I think it just was written very well. So I'm not sure it's going to win the Oscar for that, but we'll see.
Excellent. He's been nominated for quite a few this year as well. Yeah, not just for writing, but obviously he's the director as well, producer. Yeah. So he stands a good chance. So, and it's great to see, obviously because it's a Netflix original film as well, isn't it? So
that's history right there. A Netflix movie that nominated their first nominee.
Yeah, certainly history right there. So welcome, Sam. Welcome to the chat, and Alex Downs as well. So welcome guys. So Sam says, how do you feel about the James Bulger movie being nominated? Wow. Difficult subject, Sam. I'm guessing, is that in a documentary? Sam, let me come back to you on that one. Okay. Because we're discussing at the moment, the writing categories. So let's move on to. Have you seen any of the originals yet, Rob? Sorry?
I haven't. So
you haven't.
Yeah, I'm in your same boat. Like I'll start pumping up. I'll watch all the usually it could be up to 10 nominations. I'll watch all the 8 nominations this year. Just skip ahead, but I'll watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've seen Star is Born.
Star is Born. Well, that moves on to adapted, the adapted category. Which obviously you've got the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Klansman, which I'm very much looking forward to seeing. Can You Ever Forgive Me? The trailer looks fantastic for that. If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star is Born, which A Star is Born is the one I've seen from adapted so far. I love that film. I can't say a bad thing about it. It's a fantastic film. I know it's the 4th incarnation of this movie, but I love what they've done to bring it up to modern day. The music is fantastic. Lady Gaga turning her hand to acting is amazing. So I was very much a fan from start to finish. That is a film I could watch over and over again. Yeah. And I've listened to the soundtrack 9 times as well. So
sorry. In this adapted screenplay, I saw A Star is Born. I would definitely say that it just in terms of the writing, it really adapted, looking back at the original films, and the original writing is pretty damn good, if I'm honest. But the one that I really which I loved, was Black Klansman. I really enjoyed this movie. Thing is, I love Adam Driver. I think Adam Driver is a fantastic actor. He did a really great job in Star Wars, and I think he was in Game of Thrones as well. But I've been a big fan of his since, and I was like, right, he's in Black Klansman, and so I watched it, and just in terms of how it was written, seeing both these sides of what happened in the past, and how they go undercover, and it just was a very cleverly written film. And I think the guy who wrote it, Charlie, what's his name? Who's the guy who wrote it?
Charlie Wachtel, W-A-C-H-T-L.
Yeah.
Yep, Charlie Wachtel.
He did a great job with that. And I think which was for me best written out of those, I would go with Black Klansman over A Star is Born. Just in terms of the writing.
Okay, cool. I'm yet to see that one, so obviously I can't comment, but it is one that I am very much looking forward to. The trailer looks great. So
I never heard of Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It's a Coen Brothers movie. I just never heard of it. I guess it's a Netflix movie.
I've heard of it, but I'll be honest, I don't know what it's about. And this is one of the things I love doing. I was saying just a few minutes ago about during the build-up to the Oscars, I watch all the top nominated films, and it's funny because sometimes it forces me to watch films that I probably never would have chosen to watch otherwise, be it at the cinema or, on TV. And so with a lot of them, I like to watch them having not read a single thing about them, not watched a trailer, anything. So then I have, I don't have any kind of predetermination in my head of what I'm going to think of it. So it's great to sometimes just go in completely blindfolded, not know what a movie is going to be about, and walk away pleasantly surprised. And some of my favorite films I've ever seen have been from doing that. I don't know what the Ballad of Buster Scruggs is about, but again, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of films that I maybe never would have chosen to watch.
And another one, Can You Ever Forgive Me? I never even heard of that. So
that's based on a true story, I believe. So yes, well, yeah, obviously it's from an
Melissa McCarthy's in it. Yes.
Yeah, Melissa
I like her a lot. So.
And Richard E. Grant's first ever Oscar nomination as well, I believe.
Okay.
Bye to Our Theme Life. They're just jumping out, and welcome to Avery. Says and it's Joey's World as well. All in the chat.
With Disney World Adventures, what's going on? Don't forget, I had a burp.
Disney World Adventures.
Cheers to DG Explorers, my burp sponsor. Burp count is 1. Avery, you want to keep track of whoever's here to keep track. Cheers, guys. Love those guys. Let's move on to visual effects. I always like visual effects because it's usually movies, or they're not going to be, some of them will be, nominated for Best Picture, but none of these are, I guess. So one of my favorites in there.
It's a very weird list, isn't it?
It's very strange
with visual effects because none of these films are, not really in any other category. I don't think. You have Avengers: Infinity War, Christopher Robin, First Man, Ready Player One, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. For me, the one that stands out for me in terms of visual effects, I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was Ready Player One.
It's one of my favorites. I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Ready Player One. It was like the best Geek Fest movie I've ever seen. I loved every single reference. I love the fact that it was such a grand scale. Like that final battle on the open field on that planet, and he turns into Mega Godzilla, and just the scope and see all the amazing like callbacks to video games and movies, and it was just fantastic. And just the way it looked was really, really great. The one that I think was my least favorite in terms of visual effects was Solo: A Star Wars Story. I was not a fan of Solo: A Star Wars Story. I mean, it did look great, but for me, it just, you compare it against these others, it just didn't live up to the hype for me. So that's my opinion.
Again, in this category, I've only seen Ready Player One so far, which might surprise a few people because obviously you've got other films in there like Solo, like Avengers. So it's quite interesting having a category.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Adam. Dan might not talk to you after you said you. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Have we ever kicked someone out of the pub before?
I don't know what happened to Adam. Goodbye, Adam.
It was a deliberate choice to have not watched it so far. And now the problem is I like to watch a lot of films in chronological order. So my list of 31 is now increasing because they suddenly nominated Avengers, because I'm now going to have to watch a bunch of the other Marvel films that I hadn't got around to watching yet as well. So just to make Avengers make sense. But what I do like about this category, it's like Dan was saying, it's quite a funny list because it's a lot of films that otherwise haven't really been nominated anywhere else across the board. What I do like though is none of these films are all that new at the moment. Like Ready Player One's been out for quite a long time.
That came out in January last year, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Avengers has been out.
Since April.
Yeah. Solo. When did Solo come out?
That was July.
July. Yeah. Again, and
the latest one was Christopher Robin. Yeah,
exactly. And that was a few months ago. That's it's not in the cinema anymore. Now it's funny because usually the pictures that tend to do the best and tend to get nominated for the Oscars are the ones that are released sort of after autumn, so when you're getting into the sort of winter and early New Year months, a lot of them by the time the Oscars rolls around have not even been released in the States but have been released over here, or vice versa, have been released in the States but not over here. These ones have all been released, and this is going to make my being able to watch them a lot easier this year as well. So it means like a lot of them I can find on I was searching through before, and a lot of them are on Sky already, or a lot of them have got DVD releases already, or on Netflix, whatever. So it's quite interesting seeing this category, and none of them are films that are yet to be released, whereas in other categories that is still the case. So yeah, it's just something I noted. But yeah, Ready Player One. Like I agree with Dan.
Love that movie. I bought the steelbook for it.
Really?
The steelbook's really nice. It has the Easter egg on the front, and then on the back it's got the 3 keys that they have to try and win. And it's just like a really like dark, like purpley kind of cover. It's just so nice.
Nice.
Great movie.
The release here was not good. I don't know why. I just didn't like. I bought it digitally, which was on sale for $10, and that was a no-brainer. But I still want to buy it. So maybe I'll take. And your releases are different than the U.S. releases. So
yeah,
I still want to buy it though. I love that movie. This is one of my favorites. And you're right, Dan. I actually watched it on H4K. I bought the 4K version and on my TV, and you sit up close, you can see a lot of cool details and a lot of throwbacks and references. So shout out to Ready Player One and Spielberg too. So
favorite reference or cameo in that movie?
Mine? There's one part where they're in I forget the character's name who turns out to be the female. What's her name? When they're in the park.
Oh yeah. What's her name?
Yeah, but they're in like her apartment, and there's a lot of Back to the Future references and stuff like that, and there's a lot of like 80s references. That's my favorite scene, that part. So I don't have really. What was your favorite part?
Me or Adam?
You.
Oh, I mean, the first big one that I loved was probably the big reveal of him being in the DeLorean in the first race. I loved him being, racing in the DeLorean, but I also loved the whole Shining scene.
Oh, the Shining scene.
As soon as he picked up the Shining movie, when they were looking through all of it, I was just, this is going to be such a great great adaptation of that scene. So yeah, I loved it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I liked. Do you know what? There's so many great references in that film. You saw, I think you saw Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Yep.
Chucky.
Chucky. Yep. I think there was references to King Kong, to Jurassic Park, to
Batman,
Tron. Like you say, the Back to the Future stuff where he's in the DeLorean was great. There was just, I mean, that whole film just threw you back to your childhood and all the years since, watching so many iconic films or playing iconic games as well. So yeah, the whole thing, it was just I don't know, I can't remember the last time I watched a film that just made me smile from ear to ear all the way through like that. So yeah, it was great. And I was watching it on the flight back from LA, and I was tired, but I wanted to go to sleep, but I couldn't stop watching. And I just smiled all the way, just
awesome.
Stared at the screen all the way back. So yeah, great
movie.
Yeah.
All right, so sound mixing's next. Another one. We'll just maybe go through them real quick. Sound editing, sound mixing. Those are kind of not as.
Well, it's funny because usually sound mixing and sound editing, you normally get almost at least 4 of the same films nominated. And in this case, you've only got one. You've only got one, I think, that's nominated in both categories.
Yeah.
So yeah. So in oh no, sorry, hang on. We were looking at visual effects. Sorry, my bad. Let's have a look. In this case, it's
pretty much like you said.
Oh yeah. There is only it is. Yeah, there's only one difference. My bad. Sorry. So I was.
It's interesting to see A Quiet Place on that list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For sound editing, but. Quiet movie, sound editing, yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's funny because you talk about A Quiet Place, and that's not in sound mixing, that's in sound editing, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
It's funny, that film, A Quiet Place, I remember going to see it at the cinema, and I remember as the film starts, you normally everyone kind of gets themselves comfy, they shuffle down into the chair, that makes a little bit of noise, people take a bite of popcorn like that, or with nachos or whatever. then they pick up the bag and start rustling to open a bag of sweets or whatever they've got.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah, and someone's like on a drink, and I remember that kind of normally goes on in the opening credits for a couple of minutes as people get settled down. And I just remember as The Quiet Place started, it sort of went on for about 20 seconds, and literally everyone just froze, and then. I better put that down because yeah. And literally I remember being too scared to eat popcorn for the first time in a cinema ever, because I was scared by the film, but because I just didn't want to disturb anyone else, because the whole the first 10-15 minutes there's not a sound in that whole intro bit, and it's just and I remember just wanting to put a piece of popcorn in my mouth, but I knew it was going to disturb everybody else, and I was having a whole film carried with such little dialogue, brilliant. And that's not just credit to the actors, but credit to the sound editing as well. Where you've got that eerie, deadly silence, and then when there finally is sound, it's almost like a relief. When they get to the waterfall and stuff like that. It's, so yeah, I'm glad it's in there personally. personally, yeah, I'm certainly glad it's in there for sound.
Short film, I'm going to skip unless you have anything to say about any of those movies. Short films.
Short films, I don't really have.
Not for me.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. The short animated film.
Again, short.
The movie before I've seen. How you say it? The BAO.
Is it Bow? I think that's how you say it. Yeah,
that's the short before Incredibles 2. So I did see that. So, but I really like that. I think it should win. I think it will win Pixar's Bow. One year I actually saw all the nominations. I took a film class and they showed all the short films of that year. So I actually liked one of them and it won the best picture that year. So it was kind of cool to see all the short animated features. Because you usually don't see them. Usually they're, if you're seeing before a movie or something, or they're a little obscure, but I did take a class and it was very cool to see those. So production design is next. Thoughts on that? And
let me just have a look. Sorry, I was just
Mary Poppins, Black Panther, The Favorite, Roma, First Man. You know, production design. I think
production design.
It's a tough one.
The Favorite's very good. It captures the period very well of what it's trying to be. Mary Poppins, loved the production design on that.
Yeah. Very well produced.
It just literally from the start, like as the credits were rolling, I sat there with. Like I'd heard all good things. Don't get me wrong, I'd heard all good things, but I still sat there, just a little bit skeptical myself. You know, wondering whether I was going to walk away disappointed from from it trying to follow on from
I was terrified. I've got to be honest.
Iconic film from so long ago, and as soon as it then opened up onto the same familiar houses, the Admiral's house and everything like that. That's the first thing you really see. I was straight away. I was like, brilliant. Here we go. I was thrown back. I couldn't believe that they'd managed to reimagine the whole thing again, and put it all back together. And it was just, it brought a massive smile to my face straight away. Love the production on Mary Poppins Returns.
I was very skeptical about Mary Poppins Returns because I love the original, but it took me way back to when I was when I watched it for the first time as a kid. I would also like to say that Black Panther had a great production design. I think the thing is, Wakanda was built up so much throughout this Marvel universe. We learned about, in Civil War where Black Panther came from, talking about Wakanda itself, and you got the little end credit scene at the end of Civil War, and I was so excited to see what they did with Wakanda, like with the whole high-tech atmosphere with that kind of African backdrop. I think they did a great job really showing what they literally just took it out of the comic books, and I think they did a great job with the production for Black Panther as well, and it is probably one of my favorite movies of last year.
Excellent.
I am on burp number 4. That's the funny thing about Pub Talk. D&G Explorers. Not to break the mood there, but yeah, I agree with you guys on all that. So
I'm looking forward to seeing First Man because I've not got around to seeing it yet.
I can't wait to see First Man. I haven't. I want to watch
it. First Man is one of the ones that I have been. I was looking forward to seeing it before it was even released in the cinema, but then when it was released, I was just busy and I never got around to going to see it, and I kind of kicked myself afterwards. I knew it would come up for sort of Oscar season as well at somewhere along the line, so I knew I'd probably end up having to, sort of make sure I do go and watch it. And thankfully, it's I'm able to.
One thing I noticed about these movies, like there's always like a darling Academy film. Might not be the most best film. It might not, but for some reason, the Academy members just attach on. Maybe like The Favorite or something like that.
Favorites and 10 nominations. So.
Yeah, and then I think maybe they'll just usually when they take the best picture, best director, they'll usually take those other subcategories too. I've noticed that a lot too in the past. So.
Often, yeah. I mean, you do.
Not always the case, but
you do have. I think it was last year the one where it was all pretty much spread out across the board. There wasn't.
Yeah,
there wasn't
last
really
year
a big winner last year.
Yeah.
Last year there wasn't a big winner across the board. It was they were all spread out the wins, which I thought was great.
Yep.
Music original song. Does anyone doubt Shallow's going to win?
It's got to be Shallow. It's got to be Shallow. I think possibly on any other given year, you probably would have seen Mary Poppins take it just because of that Disney musical classic thing. But no,
I do want to say though, The Place Where Lost Things Go was I did see quite a lot of people tearing up with that song. It was a very, very well written song, and what I really liked was that Lin-Manuel Miranda, the guy who wrote Hamilton, he had no involvement with the music of Mary Poppins Returns. He just wanted to sing, and to get all this writing of The Place Where Lost Things Go was a very good. The song really gave the movie a lot of heart, I think. Yeah. Because it really did call back to the original film as well as earlier in the movie itself. So yeah, I love Shallow. I think Shallow is going to win it. I won't be surprised if it doesn't. But I think The Place Where Lost Things Go will give it a bit of a run for its money, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shallow took the Golden Globe already, didn't it? I think so. So it's and quite often the Globes give you a good indication as to how things are likely to play out. Doesn't necessarily mean they will play out the same. I think La La Land won the Globe and won the BAFTA and everything other than the Oscars. Yeah, where Moonlight sort of picked up pace by the time things rolled around. But I think Shallow. I think it's going to be between Star is Born and Mary Poppins, but I think Shallow from Star is Born is likely to take it. That's my opinion at the moment. But
Though I do think with our next category, musical original score, I feel like Mary Poppins has a great chance of winning this, because what I think they did really well with the music in Mary Poppins is that they took the music structure of the original Mary Poppins and they were like, right, this is the Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious song. This is the Spoonful of Sugar song. And they kind of paid homage to those songs.
Yes, they did, yeah.
So you have something like The Cover Is Not the Book, A Turning Turtle, which is like the I Love to Laugh song. Triple Little Light Fantastic was like the Stepping in Time song. And Nowhere to Go But Up is kind of like the Let's Go Fly Kite song.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. And you can listen to this music and it is written so well. But the only thing I have against the Mary Poppins Return music is, unlike the Mary Poppins music, you can't really compare them. I can't just start singing the Mary Poppins Return songs. They're nothing iconic.
Yes,
compared to everyone knows A Spoonful of Sugar, How's the Medicine Go Down. Like, you can easily just pick it up like that. Whereas if I asked you to sing a Mary Poppins Return song, you'll be like, yeah.
That was what I was. That's what I walked away from the cinema with as well. That exact same thought was it was a great, fantastic film, but nothing jumped out at me as iconic and memorable in the music as much as it does in the first film. But I think the caveat to that is that it's so new. We've not had a chance to let those songs become legendary yet and become iconic. Fast forward, let's say 20, 30, 40 years, and those songs in Mary Poppins Returns could be just as iconic and just as memorable to the next generation as the ones from the original film are to us. So I think you've got to allow time for a movie soundtrack to take hold of everyone. Yep. It doesn't happen overnight. In most cases, maybe in some films it does, but not in most cases. So, I think they could be slow burners, but certainly at the moment, there's nothing that jumps out and grabs you and makes you remember it the way you did in the first film.
Yeah. Adam, what's going on in the chat? What are people saying? They agreeing with you?
Let's have a look. So Says is in the chat. She's talking about the Mary Poppins songs as well, saying she thought that Underneath the London Sky was a brilliant song. Yes, I agree, Says. I did think that was it certainly fit the film. It was a good song, but it's not one that I think the point that Dan and I are making are Fast forward 2 or 3 days later, I couldn't sing that song.
They're not bad songs. It's just
no, not at all. Not at all. They're just not as memorable as "Let's Go Fly a Kite" or "Feed the Birds" or "Spoonful of Sugar." But maybe it's because we're far more familiar with them because we've seen the original Mary Poppins far more times.
Yeah,
I think that's the point I was trying to make. Is maybe those songs in the newer film will grow on us in time. The more and more we become familiar with the movie. But yeah, Says did cry during that song as well. Dan, you were talking about the Mary Poppins song. I'm just having a quick scroll back to see if
ODA's here. Welcome, ODA. GQD's here. Isaac's here. Welcome, everyone.
Salute and click.
Salute and click. Hi, ODA.
Yeah, More Sunshine, please, said, really good sound editing / mixing is almost unnoticeable and makes for a seamless element of the movie. I'm not sure which film they're talking about. I think it might have been when we were talking about A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit
yeah, no, I think you're right there.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Okay.
Let's move on, Adam. It's good. I just wanted to say hi to some people there. So, makeup and hairstyle, and there's Border. I've never heard of. Mary Queen of Scots. I've never heard of. And
Mary Queen of Scots has just come out this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got Margot Robbie in it.
I know.
And what's her name? Irish actress, and she was in Brooklyn and
what her name is, yeah.
And she was in what was the film she was in last year?
Brooklyn.
She was in Brooklyn a couple of years ago, and there was one last year as well that she was in.
Trying to come up their movie. It's got more information, and there's not much information on it, so it's all right. We'll keep going. I'll find it as you talk. So
yeah, I'll
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan, yes.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yes, that's right. And she was.
Thank you, More Sunshine, please.
Sorry,
it's good.
Thank you, More Sunshine, please. Who said that?
Yes, thank you. Oh, cool.
I me to say your name. I never know how to say your name. So.
Right.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. That's a tough one. See, it's another one.
She was in Ladybird last year. That was the film.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's another one where it's they don't. I don't know. Vice might win. Who knows? I don't know. It's a tough one. All right, so I got a question, Adam. Maybe you know the answer. Has it ever happened where I think it actually has happened. I just can't recall the movie where a movie would win Best Foreign Picture and Best Picture. Has that ever happened before? Because Roma is up for Best Foreign.
Roma's up for Best Foreign and Best Picture. Yeah, that's interesting that they've done that.
Because at the Golden Globes, it was just up for Best Foreign Film. That was it. It wasn't up for Best Picture.
It wasn't up for Best Picture. Yeah, I think that's very, very interesting. I'm pleased the Academy have acknowledged that in both categories this year and not just stuck it in the foreign film and then kind of pushed it to one side.
I like that though.
I'm very pleased that they've allowed it to run in Best Picture as well. It shows that
we're not biased.
especially well, exactly. I mean, we've obviously had the talks and the debates over previous years as to whether the Academy was diverse enough, and I think this certainly shows that they have listened, and they're not just going to give a sort of a doff of the cap and then move on. They're going to be inclusive of everyone where they can across the board, and I think that's a great thing.
But you think maybe that would win Best Foreign Film and not Best Picture? Like, okay, we'll give it Best Foreign Film, but
I think it probably stands a chance of winning Best Foreign Film and maybe something else winning Best Picture, but I don't think that's going to be a shun by the Academy. We don't know how the Academy members are going to vote yet. I mean, there are obviously some very strong films in the Best Picture category, so which we're yet to reach. But I think Roma's definitely in with a chance of winning both Best Foreign Film and Best Picture. I think Roma's definitely got a shot at that. I don't think it's going to be added into the Best Picture category as an also ran. I think it's actually in with a shot. From what I've heard so far, and I've not even seen the film yet. Dan, you have seen it, and
I really do enjoy it. The only thing that does concern me is if it is in, going to win Best Foreign Film, the chances of it winning Best Picture are very slim.
I don't think it is. I think it's still in with a shout. Looking at the list of Best Picture, you know, which we'll get to obviously soon.
I did the same thing. I scrolled up and looked.
Yeah.
I hope it does. It really does deserve to be up there because it is fantastic. I really did enjoy it. I didn't find it dull at any point. I thought it was just a nice, quaint, you know, relaxing kind of film that you could just easily just watch. And have no real big issues with it. But in terms of the foreign film category, it's going to storm that because it was very good. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm thinking here, Adam. Would you do another stream after you see all the movies and your predictions?
That's what I was going to suggest this to you off camera, but like I'm happy to say it on camera as well. Is I would like to do a pub talk on either Saturday the 23rd of February or Sunday the 24th, which is the day of the Oscars, before the Oscars obviously airs. And you know, once I've seen all the films, and if you're going to try and watch as many as you can as well, and I don't know if Dan's going to try and blitz some more as well, we'll have pub talk from the red carpet. That's what we call it. We'll have our drinks in our hand and we'll talk about all the films we've seen and what we actually think is going to win for sure. I think that's a good shout. So definitely something I want to do is go live on Oscars Day.
Moving on, film editing. I think that's another one where, you know, people like.
Can I just say, sorry, in foreign language, Cold War's got a more than one nomination. I think Cold War's got 2 or 3 nominations.
Yep.
So that's one to look out for in foreign film as well. And I know we're saying Roma, but I think Cold War is also going to be in the running. So for sure. Just wanted to drop.
Would Roma win Best Picture and not Best Foreign Film?
I would be surprised.
I'd be surprised, yeah.
I'd be surprised, yeah, certainly. For it to go into Best Picture and it's allowed to be inclusive in foreign film, if it won Best Picture, it'd have to win Best Foreign Film as well, surely, because otherwise, whatever beats it in Best Foreign Film should have also run in Best Picture. That's my line of thinking. So I think if it takes Best Picture, it's certainly going to take Best Foreign Film as well.
Shout out to Matt and Scott. You can do it. Welcome, guys. Chris, how's it going, Chris? Welcome, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
All right. So film editing, like I said, I think that's kind of like that goes hand in hand with when it wins other awards. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of skip that. You know, a couple of these documentary short, and documentary feature. Do you guys have anything to talk about?
I don't normally watch the documentaries. They're the ones that I tend to, if I have time, I'll try and watch a couple of them. But it's normally the actual the movies that I tend to try and watch rather than the documentaries. But I think there's 1 or 2 that I might try and catch this year. I think RBG is in documentary feature, and that's also got nominated for 1 or 2 other awards as well. So I might try and catch 1 or 2 of the documentaries.
Okay. So then I always find it weird that they put directing so low on the list here. So directing's next.
Yep.
Directing normally gives you a sign of where the Oscar might go.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, going back to what we were just saying, it's interesting to see that Roma and Cold War are both in the directing category. So yeah,
Vice
has got a lot of nominations. The Favorite obviously is the only one with that's hit double figures, I think, in nominations this year.
Yeah, and Black Klansman as well.
Black Klansman,
which was, you know, I don't. You guys haven't seen Black Klansman, have you guys?
I haven't.
No, not yet. No.
I think in just terms of directing, it was. I think with the writing and the directing, they play off each other very, very well. And the way they can cut back and forth, the way Spike Lee, who did direct the film, can go back and forth on how they go undercover and you know, see what happens behind the scenes of the KKK and just the way he gets those two sides and how they contrast together was very clever. I just thought it was very well directed. I'm not sure if that might win Best Directing. But you know, who knows?
I had zero desire to see until you talked it up there. Now I want to
Well, More Sunshine Please says Black Klansman was the best picture of the year in their opinion. So, so interesting. Yeah, there we go. If ever anyone's going to talk up a film, that's the way to do it. If you're going to call it as the best film of the year, then that's again, like I said earlier, it's one that I've been looking forward to watching. And again, I wanted to go and see it at the cinema, but I just didn't get time to go and see it. So
I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing it. I was looking through on my Xbox before, because obviously I've got my Netflix, I've got my Amazon Prime, I've got my Sky Movies on my Netflix, on my Xbox, as well as the Microsoft Store, and there's a bunch of movies that are in my list that I'm able to see on my Xbox without having to go anywhere. So that's cool.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Cinematography, costume design.
So costume design, I can see why the favorite's been nominated, certainly, and Mary Poppins as well. And even though I've not seen the movie yet, from the trailers I've seen, I can see why Mary Queen of Scots has also been nominated. Black Panther I can't comment on yet because I've not seen it, and Ballad of Buster Scruggs again I've not seen. But certainly the favorite of Mary Queen of Scots and Mary Poppins, I can see why all three have been nominated. So yeah.
And cinematography.
Star is Born.
You think Star is Born?
Yeah.
You know why I think that might get hurt? Because cinematography, I kind of go hand in hand with directing. That was a snub. He wasn't nominated for directing. So
yeah.
What's interesting here with the cinematography again, 2 of the nominations are from the foreign film category, even though Roma is also in Best Picture.
That was your point, yeah.
So if you include Roma again there, 3 of them are from the Best Picture. But also, I don't remember cinematography ever having one of the documentaries down as Best Cinematography, or not for a few years, certainly anyway. So that's interesting that Never Look Away, which is one of the documentaries, also has more than 1 nomination. So again, that's
good point, Adam.
Interesting.
Yeah, is Never Look Away? I think it's a documentary. I'm sure.
I don't see it under there, but
if it's not a documentary, sorry, it might have been one of the foreign films. Then
I think it's just trying to scroll down. It's a foreign film. Yeah,
foreign film. Okay,
three foreign films. Yeah. I was thinking I had a brain fart.
3 from Best Picture then.
Yeah, that's a good point. The 3 of the foreign films are in cinematography. I was saying Bradley Cooper wasn't nominated for director, so. Cinematography.
That did surprise me actually, and I was disappointed that Bradley Cooper didn't make it into the director category. I think a lot of people expected him to, and I thought so too. Because wasn't that Bradley Cooper's directorial debut?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought he did a fantastic job with it. So I was surprised that he didn't make it in. Yes, slightly disappointed that he didn't, but
shame.
But there we have it. Yeah.
Best animated feature, my son's favorite category. My
favorite as well.
He could tell you every single nomination from every single year. He can tell you every single and who won. He's pretty amazing. And the year it's one of his talents. I love it. So I did show him today, and he was like, "I never heard of that." I guess it's a Japanese anime movie.
Yeah, it's the what did you call it? Is it the Studio Ghibli films? It's the anime.
Mirai. Was that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
This is a really tough category. If I'm
it really is.
It's a great category this year.
And I get mad because it's a shame some of these movies are paired up against each other. So
yeah. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Fantastic. I took Ebony to see that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Fantastic film. Incredibles 2. I've heard great things. I've not seen that one yet, but I will force myself to watch that very, very, very soon. I'll probably get Ebony to sit down with me and watch it. Isle of Dogs. I remember seeing the trailer for that. I'm intrigued to see it. And yeah, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as well.
Let me tell you something.
Spider-Man, preach it.
Let me tell you something. The best surprise of this year for me was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie was awesome. Like, if you love Spider-Man, I'm gonna put it out there. Along with Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm going to say it is probably the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
Wow. I can't wait.
It is very, very good. It is. They've literally taken it out of the comic. They really take Spider-Man into a new direction. They focus more on the Miles Morales character, which we never see in the movies, and really experience what another Spider-Man would be like and how he interacts with a much older Peter Parker, trying to pass the torch over. The animation is just so different to what you're used to, but it works really well. It's definitely more comic book feel than when you watch something like The Incredibles, where although it's a superhero film, it's not really a comic book film. And I was laughing throughout the whole film. I knew The Incredibles 2, and I knew Ralph Breaks the Internet were going to be very good, but this really did surprise me, and I thought it was fantastic, just brilliant.
Yeah. I've heard good things, not just from yourself, but from a couple of other people as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, definitely. There are a couple of people in the chat who I was going to say that there's a few people in the chat that are voting Ralph, but and I can see why. Ralph is fantastic. And
who's winning it though? Who's winning this Oscar?
Our Disney Adventures is also saying, well, as just said, Ralph Breaks the Internet made me cry, and yeah, there was, it does have that kind of that moment where you sit and you reflect, and it does bring it, it makes you well up. It does. I'm going to say it. It's very, very touching. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Who's good?
That's where I think it's going to go, but again, I need more time to watch the rest of the nominations. But that's where I would expect the Oscars to go from early running. I would expect it to go to Ralph Breaks the Internet. I think Incredibles 2 will give it a good run though for its money as well.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Spider-Man's gonna take it.
Really?
I really genuinely, with all the feedback that it's got and the popularity that it's got and the way it's just kind of been really unexpected, I think this is gonna be one of those shock moments at the Oscars this year.
I think it's a very strong category, so it could go any way.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to actually discussing this same prediction with you again in just over a month's time.
Yeah,
what are we on, 22nd of January? So if we're looking for like the 23rd, 24th of February, in just over a month's time, when we've had time to watch some more of these, each of us, I'm looking forward to having this same conversation and trying to predict them. I think that would be good fun.
And we should 33 days away from today, and one of the articles that popped up.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that category.
It's tough. That's a tough one because we're all Disney fans and animation fans. Even you can't even rule out at any given year too. A Wes Anderson, that movie seemed, the way they made it. That's a stop motion movie, right? Is that what it is? Animated The Isle of Dogs. Isn't that a stop motion movie?
I believe.
Seems like it is. So
yeah, not sure that one. It's a Wes Anderson film. So
yeah, I was saying. Yeah. Who knows? And I don't know anything about the Japanese movie Vieira, whatever. So who knows? I've seen those movies win too. So who knows?
It's funny because I remember I was talking about this a few weeks ago to one of my colleagues from work actually, and I was talking about the whole build-up to the Oscars and watching a lot of films that I would never normally watch, and obviously the animated ones are included in that. And there was a film last year that was in the animated category, which I thought was mind-blowing. It was called Loving Vincent. I don't know if any of you guys saw it.
I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, brilliant. And it was all about Vincent van Gogh, wasn't it? And the artwork for it was done in his style, I think. I believe. They'd taken all the actors and then sort of repainted them into the animation. So I thought it was great. It was something that I totally wasn't expecting to see in the animated category when you were up against what films were there last year? Coco, I think was Coco. No,
yeah, Coco was last year.
Yeah, Coco and Ferdinand, the one about the bull.
Yeah,
and then that one was in there, and it was completely different, and it blew my mind. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of the animated films, including Mirai, that anime sort of Japanese looking one, which again is one that I probably never normally would have watched, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Here we go, the big categories.
Okay, so
actress in a supporting role. Actress, sorry. Did I say actor? Actress.
Yeah, actress in a supporting role. 2 nominations for the same film in this one. You got Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, both from The Favourite. Amy Adams in Vice looks almost unrecognizable. You know, certainly from the Amy Adams we all came to know in Enchanted and things like that. You know, she like looking at the pictures and the stills from Vice, you barely recognize her. Obviously, there's another nomination for Roma and a nomination for Regina King from If Beale Street Could Talk. I think this is going to be a great category.
All amazing actresses.
Yeah. For me, I've only seen The Favourite so far, but that means I can talk about 2 of the nominees. I thought Emma Stone's performance slightly eclipsed Rachel Weisz's, even though Rachel Weisz seems to be the one that's being talked about more. So, but I personally thought Emma Stone's performance eclipsed that. So that's just my personal opinion. I've still got to see Vice and Roma and If Beale Street Could Talk. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those.
Well, I've only seen Marina de Tavira.
I was almost impressed you were saying that right, but
Marina de Tavira. That's it.
Okay.
She did a really good performance in Roma. Is it a standout performance? I mean, I think she did a great job. I mean, I haven't seen Vice or If Beale Street Could Talk or The Favourite, so I can't really compare it to the other actresses, but she did a great job. Neither can say whether she'll win it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to need to watch the other films in the categories to form a valid opinion, I think. But certainly, the 2 I can compare because they were in the same movie. Yeah, like I said, I think Emma Stone slightly eclipsed Rachel Weisz, but that's just my opinion. So I think actor in a supporting role. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Have you seen any of those films yet yourself? Or
I haven't, unfortunately. I'll get there though, and I want to do that second one where we watch them all and everything. So. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm intrigued by actor in a supporting role as well because you got the winner from last year and the winner from the year before.
Yeah.
Both in this category now, so that's very interesting coming together. So you got Mahershala Ali, who won for Moonlight. You got Sam Rockwell, who won for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri last year. And then again, you said Adam Driver's performance is fantastic.
Yeah,
Sam Elliott was great in A Star Is Born. I'm not sure whether it's a standout performance, but I thought he was great. And Richard E. Grant, his first ever Oscar nomination. And I've only seen the trailers from Can You Ever Forgive Me, but it does look like a very good film, one that I'm certainly looking forward to seeing. So I can't wait to see that performance from Richard E. Grant as well. So this, I think, actor in a supporting role is going to be a very, very, very interesting category this year.
I do want to give a shout out to somebody who I think should have been nominated for this, and that was Hugh Grant from Paddington 2. He did, I'm not even kidding, he did a fantastic job in that movie and a really underrated film. Probably one of the best.
Did I hear from you? The Paddington and Paddington 2 are great movies. I think
they're really great movies. I really do enjoy them a lot. And, you know, it made me... those are one of those movies that are just so lighthearted and just enjoy. It feels like the actual directors of those movies really enjoyed putting those films together, and I think Hugh Grant did a fantastic job because Hugh Grant plays, you know, Hugh Grant in every movie, whereas in this movie he kind of goes complete opposites. There, he plays like 3-4 different roles, and how he does it is just fantastic. But it's a shame that he wasn't nominated for actor in supporting role because I think he did deserve to be in this. You know, considering you got Adam Driver, Sam Elliott, Sam Rockwell. I mean, those are phenomenal actors. But I do think Hugh Grant maybe was a bit overlooked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. A bit like Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper as well.
For director. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You got any on these ones, Rob, or are they all still yet to be seen?
Sam Rockwell is very mysterious. He's a very mysterious guy. You don't really see him much. People don't really talk about him much, but time and time again, he's in these roles and he gets, you know, nominations and everything. So Sam Rockwell doesn't even sound like a real name to me always. I don't know. It's like, are they joking? Like he was in that one movie and it was like, never heard of him. Like, and I think it was up for the while ago. I forget that one movie where
He was
played,
in Iron Man 2 as well.
yeah, he played in that one movie. He was like a spy or something, or I forget what it is. But the Chuck Barris movie. Chuck, is that right? What is Chuck Berry from the Gong Show? He played him, I think. Forget what. I'm sure Jim from More Sunshine Please could help me with that. But
obviously he was in Green Mile back in the day, a long time ago.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, and so he was. I remember I hadn't seen Sam Rockwell being much for a long time, and then he popped up in 3 Billboards last year, and his performance blew me away. And last year I called it. I said straight away, that's the winner of the Best Supporting Actor right there, and I was right. He was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing Vice and seeing what his performance is like again this year.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's one I'm definitely looking forward to.
To be honest with you, I think Sam Elliott might make it. I don't know. He's not really a real popular actor, but I thought he was phenomenal in that movie. I thought he was really good. So I'm going to go with Sam Elliott. Not seeing anything else. I think I don't know. I think
it's interesting to see. Obviously we're making early predictions based on either what we've heard or from what limited stuff we've seen so far, and I can't wait to reconvene again in 4 weeks time, 4 or 5 weeks time, and see if we are sticking to what we said originally, or
we'll do the main stuff. We'll discuss the main stuff. We won't do the sub stuff, but
yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Actress in a leading role.
Actress in a leading.
I'm going to say it right now, Lady Gaga.
I would say Lady Gaga if she won these other awards, but she won the Screen Actors Guild, I think, right?
I would love to say to believe it was going to be Lady Gaga because she blew me away in A Star Is Born. Olivia Colman's good in The Favourite as well. She's very good. She's funny. Glenn Close, I've heard, is phenomenal in The Wife. I've not seen The Wife, and this is the only nomination for The Wife as well. So that's interesting. But I've heard a lot. So I've heard she's phenomenal.
Tight race, Lady Gaga or Glenn Close. I feel.
I'm intrigued to see Melissa McCarthy playing a straight role for once, where because normally she's very, very comedic, and can you ever forgive me? From what I've seen in the trailers, I think there's comedy elements to it, but it's not a typical Melissa McCarthy role. So I'm very, very, very much looking forward to seeing what she does in that role. Obviously, obviously the Academy have appreciated what she's brought to the table there. With the nomination, that she's obviously. I
think that was one of the surprises.
So yeah,
I think just looking at this category and the nominations, there's only one here that really blew me away in terms of her performance, and it was Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And you do hear about it a lot and her performance, and how she was so surprised. So she is probably the odds-on favorite, but again,
That's interesting to hear you say that because I know you've seen Roma as well. So and you've not mentioned Yalitza Aparicio, which who I believe has also done a stellar performance as well. So,
but she didn't blow me away as much as Lady Gaga did, in my opinion.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting because I was left breathtaken by Lady Gaga's performance. Brandon's in the chat and he's chipped in with his prediction for best actor, which we're going to get to in a minute. But Noah has also agreed, saying Lady Gaga for actress in a leading role. So that's interesting. I'm hoping everyone that's in the chat is going to come back as well and let us know what they think in 4 or 5 weeks time. So, but yes, little Oz Laurel's just said Lady Gaga is so talented, and yes, I mean she's got a fantastic voice anyway. And she's tried her hand at several different genres of music. She blew me away at the Oscars a few years ago when she did the Sound of Music medley, and she sang in a key that she's normally not even comfortable with, to try and hit the same key that Julie Andrews sang the entire song soundtrack in. And I thought she was great then, but then to now turn her hand at acting and do such an amazing role, which Bradley Cooper fought for her to be in that film when a lot of other people said she couldn't do it, and I'm glad Bradley Cooper fought for her because she was amazing. So, yeah.
This is an interesting category.
Actor.
Yeah. Wow.
Actor in leading role.
This is if you want to call a star-studded category. This is. I mean, you got Christian Bale who completely changed his whole body to play Vice. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I know he's completely, he put on lots of weight to play the character, the leading role. Bradley Cooper, I mean, he did a phenomenal job. William Dafoe, Rami Malek.
Rami Malek is Brandon's prediction early on. Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, I think, because
great actor.
I've got this really weird feeling he might take it because he doesn't do a lot of acting. And I think he saves himself for these moments.
Yeah.
And I feel like he has such a good chance, but I could not call this one at all. I couldn't call it.
Yeah, I think... Rob, check out Brandon's last message.
Christian Bale won the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Did Christian Bale win the Golden Globe? That's interesting. Then.
Yeah.
Because I thought Rami Malek won a Golden Globe as well.
He didn't. Golden Globe, the best picture was Bohemian Rhapsody, but he didn't win for the actor.
Ah, interesting. I
remember Christian Bale thanked Satan.
Wow.
I don't know. I think he was obviously joking, but I was like, I remember he said it, and then I got like, on my phone, it was like, yeah, Christian Bale thanked Satan. I'm like, it was a joke. It was a joke. I don't know. So, Brandon, I don't know. I sent you the link, so I'm going to try again. I'll send it to you.
I think Rami Malek could have a very good, strong showing. He did an incredible performance, an absolutely incredible performance.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's a great actor as well, and again, similar with Glenn Close with The Wife. This is At Eternity's Gate is only nomination. So again, for Willem Dafoe to get a nod when that film is not in the running anywhere else, that's got to be a pretty special performance. But yeah, certainly all of these I'm looking forward to seeing. Certainly Rami Malek. I've not seen Bo Rap yet, but I've heard great things. Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born blew me away because when he started singing, I was like, that's not Bradley Cooper. And funnily enough, at the start of A Star Is Born, literally the first minute or two when he steps onto the stage and then starts playing, I started to sort of question myself for a moment. Am I in the right screen? Am I in the right screen? Because Bradley Cooper doesn't sing like this. And then it was Bradley Cooper, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, his performance all the way throughout, and what he did with his voice to make himself seem a lot older than he really is with his character. Great performance. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing all of these films, seeing what the other actors bring to the table. Hey,
Brandon.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. Welcome.
Hey, so Rami Malek, man, I'm telling you, I watched the featurette of why. I watched the featurette yesterday of him having to become Freddie Mercury. He had to go as far as matching where the position of his Adam's apple when he's singing.
Wow. Yeah.
Easy.
That's how far he had to go with his character to match Freddie Mercury.
I think Rami Malek's a good shout. There's a lot of buzz around him at the moment. But yeah, I think like Dan said, this is a very strong category across the board. Bradley Cooper, I don't think won it he didn't win the Golden Globe. Obviously, Christian Bale did. So that stands Christian Bale in with a good shout as well. I think.
Yeah, I think if I had to choose, I think it would be either Christian Bale, Rami Malek, or maybe Viggo Mortensen. I really don't feel William Dafoe or Bradley Cooper will get it, even though they did. Bradley Cooper did a fantastic performance. For me, I think it's between the three I just said, but you can't call this one. It's just so tight.
Yeah, I'll form a stronger opinion once I've seen the rest of the films.
I apologize. Rami Malek did win the Golden Globe for.
I thought he did. So what did Christian Bale win then?
He won actor in a musical. See, that's why I got confused because Christian Bale won actor in a musical or comedy, and Rami Malek won actor in a drama motion pictures.
That's right. Yeah. So and it's interesting that Rami Malek didn't win actor in a musical. So that's
it's bizarre. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the Globes is it kind of keeps you on your toes because it gives you a good idea of what is going to be the buzz around Oscars time when the Globes happen, because I think it's the first proper.
Not always. Sometimes spot on, but not always.
But this is what I was going to say. It keeps you on your toes as well, because they have categories that the Oscars doesn't have. You know, they split things up into other categories. So
stuff, and other stuff,
yeah. So I think
that's. Hey, I was just quickly popping by for a quick minute, saying hi to everyone. I got to bounce.
No worries. Thanks for stopping
All
in,
right, Brandon. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks,
guys.
for checking in.
Take care,
Catch
mate.
everyone later.
And that puts us down. Yeah, he's. I mean, Brandon's very, very, very into Bohemian Rhapsody. He's been telling me to watch it for weeks. So
it came out on digital today, so I do have it, and I started watching it. He's great. So I did see disclaimer. I did see some of Bohemian Rhapsody. So
cool.
Leading us into. So what do you think? Call best actress, best actor. What do you think?
At the moment, my heart says Lady Gaga for best actress.
Okay.
I don't have a head opinion yet. So heart says one. I don't have an opinion ahead yet because I need to watch the others. Actor, again, heart says Bradley Cooper because I thought he was amazing. My head at the moment says Rami Malek, but I need to see the rest of the films, and I could change my mind.
I'm going to agree with you on those two. Dan,
actor. You know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to say Viggo Mortensen. And then for actress, Lady Gaga for me.
Noah and D&G Explorers both say Rami Malek as well. So
that's probably the best choice. I would just like to see. I would love to see Viggo get an Oscar, and I think Green Book, I've heard, is fantastic. But it's going down to heart and head. Heart, I want Viggo to win it. Head, I think Rami's going to win it. So that's my opinion.
Walter Grams has chipped in and said, if Melissa McCarthy wins Best Actress, the world is broken. which I think is, I think it's slightly harsh. I've not seen the film yet, but the trailer looks like she's playing a straight role for once and not a comedy, or not an outright comedy role, certainly. So that's one I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she does with this.
It's nice to see someone different.
I love seeing an actor break away from their usual comfort zone and push themselves to do other things. So I'm certainly interested to see what she
I can't wait
what she does with that role.
But it is an honor to be nominated, especially for someone who's mainly a comedy. Obviously not mainly, she is just a comedy. She's great.
Just being Oscar nominated would be mind blowing. That's like saying that is like a sports person being able to say they were an Olympian. It doesn't matter whether they placed on the podium or whether they finished last or whatever. If you're an Olympian, if you're Oscar nominated, that's got to be the pinnacle of your career. Certainly, if you're a screen actor, anyway. So
all right, Dan, bring us home. Best Picture, Dan, bring us home.
Oh God! Can I before I choose? I just want to say I'm so happy that Black Panther was nominated.
Yeah, did you expect Black Panther to be nominated?
No.
We were talking about it in your chat. You loved it so much.
Well, the thing is, there's been so many rumors about having a popularity award or popularity Oscar, and they were thinking about that when they were thinking of Black Panther. Look, I think Black Panther is fantastic. I love the fact that Marvel is now not considered a blockbuster film, but also an Academy Award nominated film. Do I think Black Panther has a chance of winning? No, I don't. I think it's a fantastic film, but it's not going to win it. For me, with all I've heard, I think Green Book has a great chance. Let's
list it before you go. Maybe some people don't know what it is. Let's list the movies out.
So the 8 nominated movies for Best Picture are Black Panther, which incidentally is also, I believe, the first ever superhero movie to ever be nominated for Best Picture.
For Best Picture, yeah.
For Best Picture, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Dark Knight is the only other one that's been nominated for an Oscar, isn't it? The Dark Knight for what's his name?
Heath
Ledger. Heath Ledger for Best Supporting Actor.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe Black Panther is the first ever superhero film to be nominated for Best Picture award.
Yep.
So yeah, Black Klansman is nominated. Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, which I don't know if that's out in the States yet. It came out in the UK last week or the week before. I went to see it last week.
Came out today on digital. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Green Book, which Brandon was just talking about, which, I think Green Book and Roma, which is the next one, I think they're going to be two in with a shout. So after Green Book, after Roma, you've got A Star is Born and then Vice. So that's your 8 films. Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice.
Let's give it back to Dan.
I'm probably going to agree with Adam. I think it's either going to be Green Book or Roma. I think A Star is Born has maybe a bit of a chance. Maybe Bohemian Rhapsody has a bit of a chance. But I think down to the two, I feel like it's going to be either Green Book or Roma. I think it's very difficult. There are some that I know probably won't have a chance. I know Black Panther probably won't get the Oscar, or Black Klansman, although that's a very good film. I definitely recommend you guys checking out Black Klansman. But yeah, I think it will be either Green Book or Roma. Roma was just fantastic. So, but I don't know. It's interesting.
It's tough. I think when I saw Stars Born, I said, "Hey, this has a lock in." Sorry, my thing fell out. This has a lock for Best Picture.
And that's what I thought as well when I first saw it. And now I'm beginning to wonder if it's going to suffer from the same hype that La La Land suffered from, where it started off strongly and then faded towards the end.
Yeah.
That's why I feel.
I heard Roma was going to be the winner. It's going to sweep everything, and then it kind of faded.
Yeah, that's why I think Green Book. That's why I think Green Book.
And Bohemian Rhapsody in the
Bohemian Rhapsody's in with a shout. I think because Freddie Mercury is so well revered around the world, and Queen obviously as a band. So I've got a feeling that Bohemian Rhapsody could fare well.
Yeah, but it's just I was thinking. Go ahead.
Sorry, but for me, you're talking about the best picture, the best movie of the year.
Right.
And for me, Bohemian Rhapsody was not the best movie of the year. I mean, great standout performances, really well directed. But I'm going to be frankly honest. You look at a biopic, it follows the same formula as a lot of the other biopics that came before. You look at something like Steve Jobs or The Theory of Everything. There is a continued formula that I think it follows. There's nothing, I would say, really original. I know it's not really original because, it's a biopic, but
yeah,
there's, for me, when I think about best picture, it's got to be the best movie of the year, and for me, it wasn't. And I think I really do believe that Green Book and Roma, and I'm going to say it, A Star is Born were better movies, just in terms of the complete package, than Bohemian Rhapsody. That's just, I'm going to get a lot of hate now, but that, when I think best picture, best movie of the year, I can't say Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, what are you predicting then?
Who, me?
Before? No, what was Dan predicting? I'm sorry.
Dan
I'm gonna go with Green Book.
Okay.
Interesting.
I was saying Green Book and Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe like after the Golden Globes. Unfortunately, I just don't think Black Panther's gonna make it. But then you look at a movie like The Favorite. That's like, in my opinion, I always think of what's going to win. Like, what's an Oscar member going to pick? That always seems like that movie right off the bat. As soon as I heard about it, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like an Oscar darling. Not necessarily the best picture, but who knows? So I'm just saying I have no clue. It's just so out there. I don't know anything about Black Klansman. So, but now I want to see it because of Dan.
I think The Favorite's going to win Oscars, but I don't think it's going to win
the
big awards.
Yeah,
it's the most nominated film, and the danger of that is it stands the biggest chance of flopping at the Oscars because it's got more to lose now as well. I don't see it winning Best Picture personally, and I've only seen a quarter of the nominated films so far, so I don't see it winning Best Picture. Obviously, one of the two supporting actresses is going to have to lose, even if one of them takes the prize. Olivia Colman could win Best Actress, but she may not.
Yeah.
I could see The Favourite maybe only taking home 3 Oscars out of the 10 that it's been nominated for. It can only win 9 because obviously 2 are nominated in the same category. But I can see it only scooping a third of what it could possibly win.
Does Vice have a chance?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I'm not sure with Vice whether it's got a chance. The ones I've heard the most buzz about so far, I'm going to have to go with Dan R, Green Book, and Roma. Bohemian Rhapsody does have a lot of buzz about it as well. And obviously A Star is Born was fantastic. I don't see Black Panther, Black Klansman, or Vice winning, and I just personally don't see The Favourite winning. I could be wrong. You know, I've called it right before, I've called it wrong before. So yeah, I'll have a better idea once I've watched all 8. Because the last couple of years I've started to get a feel for what Hollywood tends to like to vote for. Last year I called it straight away. As much as I wanted 3 Billboards to win it last year, when people were asking me what I thought was going to win it, I said heart says 3 Billboards, but my head says The Shape of Water, because it ticked all the boxes for Hollywood. And it certainly was.
The Shape of Water, that reminds me of The Favourite.
The year before, you know, again, I said head says Moonlight, heart says La La Land, and again, I was right. My head was right. It was Moonlight. So yeah, yeah. And I think the year before that, when Spotlight won it as well.
Spotlight won the year before.
Yeah, Spotlight won. I think the year before that was that Birdman. So yeah,
Birdman was
yeah. So I've managed to call all those. So hopefully I'll make it 5th year running for calling.
All right.
It's funny because the one I always want to win is not the one that wins. So
right.
I always
head and heart. Go ahead. Head and heart, Adam. Head and heart.
At the moment, heart says Star is Born. My head at the moment, even though I've not seen it, my head says it's going to be between Green Book or Roma, same as Dan. But let me re-answer that question. You know, please ask it me again once I've seen them all and we reconvene. So,
what do you think, Rob? I mean,
okay. Well, I was going to give it to you first, but
I was going to say I'm disappointed that the Meg is not. I'm saying that because she's here. I'm saying that because the Meg is here. So
go ahead, Dan. I want to go last. So go ahead. Head and heart. I guess we're just coming up with this. Sounds wrong, but go ahead.
My heart, I would love to see. I loved Black Klansman. I really enjoyed it, but I know it's not going to win it. That's my heart, but head, I'm going with Green Book. Green Book for me is, though I've not seen it, I've heard so many great things about it. I've been literally trying to get time to watch it. Just, you know, reading reviews, just, you know, knowing Viggo Mortensen's in it. He's one of my favorite actors. Just the hype around it, and I feel like it is The Shape of Water from last year and the Moonlight. So I think in terms of head and seeing where the Oscars are going to go, I feel it's going to be Green Book.
My heart, Star is Born, I would guess, and my head, I don't know. Like I broke them down, and my head, I be honest with you, just because you feel that Bohemian Rhapsody is not the best picture of the year, I just no offense, Dad, I love you. I just, you know, it won the Golden Globe. You know, I was shocked. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it. I'm dying to see it. I think I'm going to see it tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to see it. I might be after I see it. It might not be the thing, but I kind of think Bohemian Rhapsody might win. I don't know, because I'll be honest with you, when there's a lot of strong contenders here, like Green Book, when Roma, you know, I'm going to say maybe The Favorite too. Those kind of rule each other out. I don't know. In my opinion, it seems like that. Like if you asked me 10 years ago or 20, you know, when I would say The Favorite. You know, I look at that list, The Favorite's going to win because it's just, I don't like it. The Academy members are going to like it. They'll win, but or maybe Green Book. I don't know. It's a tough one. It really is a tough call. But if right off the bat, and I'm going to change my mind, I guarantee when we do the next installment, Stars Born, Heart, and I think my head's going to say Bohemian Rhapsody. Believe it or not. Good movie or bad movie, but just the hype of it and won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. So
I'm interested to hear what's everybody's worst movie of last year.
It was Jaws Revenge is my worst one. Every year. So. I don't know. I just I'll be honest with you. I in my stage of life, I don't see bad movies anymore. I'm a big Rotten Tomato fan. I kind of, I don't really give movies chances nowadays. So it's tough for me to call. I'd love to hear yours though.
Oh, I could talk so long about worst films of last year.
Let's save that for another show. So
okay,
we'll save that for another show. I'm gonna have to think long and hard.
We'll do our updated predictions and we'll do our worst picks. How's that?
But Waltograms has thrown in an interesting point as well, or reminded me of an interesting point. They still don't have a host for this year's Oscars. Yeah,
I heard rumors,
and Waltograms says he's not hosting anything that night. So yeah, Waltograms for host. There we go.
I heard rumors that each, after a certain amount of time, it's going to be hosted by different members of the Avengers. That's what I heard.
I have heard the same thing. I will be honest. I would be bitterly disappointed with that.
Me too.
Personally.
Doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't need to happen. The Academy were really slow on the uptake of picking a host this year. I think they were holding out for Jimmy Kimmel to do it again, and Jimmy Kimmel said he didn't want to do it this time. No. So eventually they picked Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart said he's not.
And then Kevin Hart obviously jacked it in 2 days later.
After the whole apology, after all that, he said, "Yeah, I thought about it. I'm not going to do it." So.
Yeah, which
who knows?
Who would you want? Who would you want to host it?
I would love to see Kimmel back personally. I would love to see
Kimmel.
Kimmel back.
Awesome.
Kimmel did great.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll do it.
I would love to see The Rock do it.
That would be interesting.
Because he's all about that on-stage persona. He's had that wrestling background, and being able to talk on the mic has always been a great mic talker. And if you're talking about Hollywood, you got to mention The Rock, because he's been a big presence these last couple of years, and I think he would be quite an interesting host, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Ellen back. I'd love to see Ellen back as well. She's fantastic.
Ellen would be good as well.
Yeah.
I have quite an interesting idea. Maybe when we go, or maybe once we've seen some of these movies, we just write down our picks.
Yeah, we're going to
category, and then whoever gets the most amount right gets some sort of prize or something. Will be quite fun.
I'm
going to do that. I'll send you the sheet.
I've got a spreadsheet with all of them listed down already. So we can each put our predictions down, and we'll reconvene on the weekend.
I bet on it for years. I had a pool, Oscar pool, and you put in X amount and you win the money. So I definitely did it. So
it's funny because Dan, do you normally watch it on Sky over here?
I watch it on a replay. I do.
You watch it on a replay, yeah. So I mean, obviously, because I think it's on ABC over in the States, isn't it? Whereas they air it on Sky Movies over here, and I worked with Alex Zane on Cane Hill, who hosts the Sky version of the Oscars every year. So I always end up getting on Twitter and sending him my predictions as well, because he's always they always have their competition and stuff. So yeah, it's always interesting to see. How they all get on in the studio. They have their own little competition, and the rivalry and the banter is so much fun watching it in the studio. So I'm looking forward to doing something similar between us guys on Pub Talk and seeing what we think.
D&G Explorers is saying do it like a prediction list and then do a heart list. That's a good idea. Like totally two different things. So.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I always go for who I think I'm going to win. So who I think's going to win. Not.
Yeah, I will say who I think is going to win, but I'll tell you who I want to win as well. Certainly, I'm not going to keep quiet who I'm rooting for. But yeah. So welcome, Haley. Haley just come into the chat as well.
Hey, Haley.
I did a quick Google search. What are good Oscar contenders? And Variety has a cool article. So they list. Maybe a couple good ones here. Ellen DeGeneres, Billy Etcher. I don't know who that is. Billy on the Street. I don't know who that is.
Is this for hosting now you're talking about?
Yeah, Hannah Gadsby, Donald Glover, Tiffany Haddish, Neil Patrick Harris.
Mm-hmm. See, I like Neil Patrick Harris, but he flopped a couple of years ago when he did it the year after Ellen, about 3-4 years ago, and he completely flopped. Seth MacFarlane, though, 2 years before him was fantastic. So
yeah.
Someone say this article say Melissa McCarthy that.
I don't see now that she's nominated, she surely couldn't host.
No, she can't. If she did win, it'd be really awkward.
This is articles from December. So Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, sorry, I never know how to say his name.
Not sure if maybe not.
Maya Rudolph, Wanda Sykes, Kristen Wiig. These are just people. That's really the list that they had here. So I don't know. The Rock is a good choice. I never thought of The Rock, but I think you're right. I think that would be great. That'd be awesome.
The Rock is a great choice. And speaking of Rock as well, Chris Rock did it a few years ago, and he was good as well. Yeah. I think the problem now is any comedian they're going to ask to do it just isn't going to do it, because they normally spend months and months with the writers coming up with all the stuff that they fill in between each of the awards.
Right.
And the Academy's been so slow on the uptake this year, and didn't have a plan B when Kevin Hart decided to turn around and say no, that now they're going to be really stuck, because trying to land somebody's going to be like, I'm going to be on TV in front of the entire world, and I've got no material.
In a month's time.
Yeah. So, and this is one of the biggest productions on TV.
I'm looking at another list. Will Smith. What do you think of Will Smith?
Nah. Not for me.
I don't mind him. I don't think he would be the best choice, but I mean, I'll take him over Kevin Hart.
They had The Rock on here, so and then someone who hosted before: Ellen, Jimmy, Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg, Hugh Jackman. That was a short list of.
Whoopi Goldberg's obviously done it before. Billy's done it before.
That's they're saying these people did host before. Bring those people back. That's what. But I think Hugh Jackman might be good. I don't know.
Hugh Jackman would be great. Didn't he host it? Didn't he co-host it one year?
He co-hosted it with
Anne Hathaway, or
was it Anne Hathaway? Yeah.
I think it was Anne Hathaway. I could be wrong.
Because they did Les Miserables at that same time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. And then they performed Les Mis a couple of years later when Seth MacFarlane was the host.
But Walt, that was a good point. They didn't. I thought they were going to announce why have this big announcement and then have the same big announcement with the host. I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of big announcements.
I think they're really struggling. I think that's the only reason they've not announced it so far, is I think it's either going to be get to a point where they're just going to have to make it a complete surprise, or which
Hamill.
Which interesting.
I think you should do it. Joking. I think that would be cool though. Luke Skywalker, no?
Okay.
I think they'll start reaching out to just big A-list celebrities. They'll reach out to someone like Ben Affleck or Chris Evans, or just these big actors, because they just need somebody who can be like, yep, I'll do it. They're not going to go for the whole comedy effect, because they are, like you said, Adam, they're desperate now.
Yeah, I think this could bite them on the backside this year, unfortunately, because the Oscars viewing figures has slightly been in decline over recent years. And I think, a lot of people tune in to see what the host has to say, especially if there's anything political going on at the time. Obviously we've had, political stuff with the American president over the last few years, or with the argument of, the Oscars So White thing that came out a few years ago when there wasn't enough diversity nominated and stuff like that.
And diversity this year.
and there's a lot of diversity this year, but obviously you still have a lot of political stuff going on with Brexit and over here, or with Trump and the wall over there, so I think a lot of people would want to tune in to see the opening gambit for your host and see what comes out there, which happens year on year. And I think this is one thing where if that's lacking, I think viewing figures are going to drop again. So
what about Sebastian Maniscalco? Do you know that guy?
I can't say I do.
He sold out Madison Square Garden for 4 nights this week, actually. So huge comedian now. He's
I think they need to go for a British comedian that can.
I think Ricky Gervais.
Wait! I got it. AdamsLand and Disney Dan co-hosting the Oscars, I think.
Yes.
And then if you can kind of get me in, that'd be great. I don't even want to host. I just want.
What about James Corden?
What?
What about James Corden?
James Corden would be awesome. I love James.
James Corden would be a good show. I think.
But has he done it? He's done the Tony.
He's done the MTV Awards, hasn't he? Or he's
done the Tonys. I know that.
He's done Tonys.
He's
because he did the big musical number, didn't he?
That's good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about
James Gordon? So yeah, that would be a good show actually, James. Someone like
what
James
about
Gordon.
Tonight Show? Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I think the problem was if they got Jimmy Fallon, there would be too many comparisons with the last 2 years with Jimmy Kimmel. Like I think everybody it would, and I think with all due respect to Jimmy Fallon, I think Jimmy Kimmel's probably a better. I certainly enjoy his talk show a lot more, and I think if Jimmy Fallon wasn't liked as much as Kimmel has been the last 2 years, he will get completely panned. That's my thing. It wouldn't be a gracious. It wouldn't be a gracious kind of. Yeah. So
wait,
yeah.
Adam, have you seen Celebrity Juice?
Yes. Yeah.
What about Keith Lemon hosting?
It would be.
That would get the viewers up. I'm telling you.
It would get the viewers up, but it would be I don't think the American audience would be ready. Yeah. Oh God. I just don't think the American audience would be ready for Keith Lemon.
You gotta love the chat room. DJ Explorer said Disney Dan would have the best food for the audience. Like he would come out and feed the audience. I think you're right, guys.
Well, do you remember Ellen
burgers out in the audience? And
do you remember Ellen ordering pizzas a few years ago when she hosted last? And they were just dishing
blue shots.
All these actors and actresses suddenly, I think they thought she was messing about until suddenly a rack of pizzas arrived. Yeah. Suddenly they're all trying not to get pizza like. Cheese and tomato sauce down there, like tuxedos and their dresses and everything. And
yeah, because she used my goddamn credit card.
Too funny.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. I think it's a great idea. I say we reconvene. We watch some of these movies. I'm not going to watch all of them. I'm going to watch the major one. I'm going to watch them.
Well, I've got 31 that I'm going to attempt to watch. Whether I make it through all 31 or, I've got them certainly listed.
In preference of how you want to watch them? That's the way I do it. So.
Not a preference, but certainly importance, shall we say. So the ones that are nominated for more categories.
The best pictures, right, Dan?
The best pictures, best actor, actress, supporting actor, actress.
Yeah, I'll be watching Green Book hopefully tomorrow.
So, yeah, certainly, and yeah, we shall reconvene. So,
all right, guys, don't forget AdamsLand is an amazing YouTube channel. He is incredible, and his daughter Ebony. He just did the bracket. I have the camera on you there, Adam. So,
okay, yeah. I was just looking at
AdamsLand. Oh yeah, show it. I'm sorry, go for it. Show it. Adam just went to LA recently. I'm jealous.
I went to LA, and this is the official program from last year's Oscars from the Dolby Theatre. So this is what was handed out to all of the actors, actresses, guests, etc. And I managed to get myself one, even though I wasn't actually at the Oscars. I did manage to get myself one. So this takes pride of place at home, but as it was Oscars nomination, I thought I'd bring this into Pub Talk. So
cool. Thanks for sharing, man. But yeah, I always wanted to take a tour of the Dolby. I didn't get a chance to take a tour of the Dolby Theater.
It's amazing. That was one of my favorite things that I did in Hollywood was the day I went to the Dolby Theater, and just to be, we got to stand just up on the edge of the stage, and to be down in the auditorium where so many icons and inspirations for me personally were sat last year, and it's always been my life dream to, make it to the Oscars one day, and and just to be in that auditorium,
of course,
just be in that auditorium, even though I wasn't at the Oscars, that was like putting one foot inside that dream, certainly. So it's
cool,
mind blowing, and it was great to go there. And when they gave me that at the end, that was fantastic. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, Disney Fiasco every Saturday, 7 o'clock. I burn my steaks because I'm so intrigued by the amazing, amazing show it is. So definitely check out. Dan is, as Meg said earlier, just 80 small subscribers away from hitting 1,000. So if you haven't subscribed to Disney Dan, please know if you could put that link in there. There it is. You already put it in there. Thank you, Noah. Definitely check out Disney Dan's channel. He's awesome. Good friend. Adam's a good friend, and all my pub talkers and all my power channels and partner channels, check out below. D&G Explorers, thank you so much for the sponsorship. I had 8 burps this thing, believe it or not. We were talking so much I couldn't really tell them out, but Thank you so much for being a subscriber. And thank you, Adam. Definitely check out his channel. Links below. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
thank
Dan,
you guys for
Dan I
putting up
think
with
is only 82 away from 1,000.
81.
81.
81 away from 1,000. Yeah. So
yeah, okay, 81. That's awesome.
I love
And
it.
guys, thanks for killing me in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You guys are awesome.
Anytime.
They take a lot of pleasure in it. These guys are incredible players. I love playing to learn it a little bit, and I just have fun with these guys, and we laugh so hard, and we have a great time. So thanks for playing, getting me turned on to Xbox and playing Black Ops 4. It's so much fun, and we just have a blast. So thanks, guys. Hopefully we can get a game in or two after this live stream if we can. It's very late there, but I appreciate it.
I can do a game or two. So.
Yeah, I did live stream once. It's not going to see the light of day again. I think we're not going to live stream our stuff.
It's probably best not to. Yeah.
We have too many laughs.
Definitely do me a favor. Go check out both of these guys' channels, and Ebony's little channel. Adam's daughter is a great little cute channel too. Check her out.
She just put out a video on the weekend from opening a surprise egg that she got at Christmas. So.
Oh, cool! So check that thing. And then RobFuz, don't forget. I just did a podcast with this is the live place, and I just did a podcast with Dean. It came out so awesome. Thank you so much. I'll link that below too. Check. He said it's got 1,000 downloads or something crazy, so that's cool. So I was very happy to do that. So thanks, Dean. The live place and the happy place is the name of the podcast. If I don't link it down below, definitely check out all my partner channels on my other channel. Drop That Rope. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff this year with Drop That Rope, so definitely subscribe over there. And thank you guys so much again. We'll see you guys soon. We'll do another pub talk or two before, and then I think at the end we will do our predictions before the Oscars after we've actually seen a lot of these movies. And thank you guys so much for hanging in there. It was another great pub talk, guys. Pub Talk 7.
Always a pleasure.
Is in the bag. I think I put Pub Talk 6, but I believe this is 7. So
no, you put 7. You did put 7 in the title. So.
Yeah, it was 7.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you. I can't believe we've done 7 of these already. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. They're all saying D&G, saying great show. Ruth saying bye. Everyone, great pub talk. Lisa said she enjoyed our opinions, and she's going to check out Ebony's video. So that's great. Disney World Adventures, have a magical day, everyone. See you real soon. And ODA says hit the like button, Ohana. So yeah, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you all being in.
Bye, ODA. Give her a click and salute, guys. Good. Adam first. There we go, Disney Dan. Nice. There it is. And cheers, everyone. Cheers. Thank you so much for Pub Talk. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
And
take care.
We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.